In this video, I will show you how to calculate the average of the smallest n values in Excel like this. So let's get started. In this Excel sheet, I have some marks in this column. Now, I want to calculate the average of the bottom n or smallest n numbers. For example, the average of the smallest two numbers 25 and 27 will be 26. To average the bottom n numbers, I will use the Excel small function. The small function returns the nth smallest number from the specified cell range or an array. This function accepts two arguments, a cell range or an array, and the position in the array or cell range to return. For example, we can use the small formula to get the smallest number in the given cell range and the small formula to get the second smallest number from the cell range. We can also specify an array as the second argument of the small function instead of an individual position. In that case, the small function returns an array containing the corresponding values. For example, to get the first three smallest values of the range, we can specify an array containing 1, 2, and 3 as the second argument of the small function like this. This small formula returns an array containing the bottom three values. To get the average of the smallest n values, I will use the small function as an argument of the average function. Let's type an equal sign in the target cell to start the formula. Now type average followed by an opening bracket and then type small followed by an opening bracket. Select the range of the cells containing number as the first argument of the small function. Since we want to find the average of the two smallest numbers, I will specify an array containing 1 and 2 elements as the second argument. Type the closing brackets of the small and average functions. Hit the enter key to complete the formula. As you can see, we now have the average of the two smallest numbers. To get the average of the bottom three numbers, the only change I will make is to provide an array containing 1, 2, and 3 as the second argument of the small function like this. This approach is feasible only when we want to average a few smallest numbers. For example, to get the average of the bottom 100 numbers, we need to create an array containing 1 to 100 numbers, and that is not feasible. In such cases, we can use the Excel sequence function. The sequence function generates a list of sequential numbers in an array. To generate a list of numbers 1 to 5 in an array, we can specify 5 as the argument of the sequence function. We can use this function along with the small and average functions to average bottom n values. For example, this formula will return the average of the smallest 5 numbers of the cell range. The problem is that the sequence function is only available in Office 365 and Excel 2021 versions or later. So if you are using an older version of Excel, you cannot use this function. However, there is an alternative to the sequence function for the older version of Excel. We can use the Excel indirect function along with the row function to create a sequence of numbers in an array. Here is the formula to generate an array containing 1 to 5 numbers as elements. Here, the indirect function converts text 1 to 5 as the range reference, and then the row function returns the row numbers for that range in the form of an array. To get the average of the bottom n numbers, I will use this formula as an argument of the small function. As you can see, the formula now returns the smallest n numbers from the range. Since we already have the smallest n numbers, I will simply pass this as an argument of the average function to get the average of the numbers like this. Since this is an array formula, we need to enter this formula by pressing the Ctrl, Shift, and Enter keys. As you can see, we now have the average of the smallest n numbers. This formula is dynamic as we have referred the n value from a cell, which means if we change the n value, we will get the updated average automatically without changing the formula like this. Watch these videos for more Excel tips, tricks and how-to tutorials. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.